really looking forward to this podcast because he's a huge fan of
Oh yeah, yeah.
Angel Baby Hit Squad, and he's my boy. I love that guy,
Such a good.
Zero. So,
Yeah.
oh man.
I appreciate you coming on too, man. Like, thank you so much for
Hmm.
spending the time. Like, oh my God, you're like a legend, bro. Like, you're here. This is amazing.
It's
Yeah,
a perfect day too with the demon tokens going out right now. The initial distribution of them
yeah,
and the Bazaar Stars airdrop all
yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
Damn.
Which is great. It's a hell of a time. I'm telling you that. Bizarre Stars is great. I mean, they did the collab with well, first of all, the original Bizarre Stars is great. I have an Allen Iverson just because I'm sure you know this, Nick. I love Allen Iverson. AI is my favorite player of all time. Period.
I
Um,
had a
and
dinner one.
then they did the collab with Space Buds, which was pretty cool. I really like that. And I had a man. What was it? It was a lion. Yeah, just a regular lion. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Bizarre Stars just as the whole collection. I mean, Greek Freak is the reason that I was introduced to Cardano NFTs. So it just made sense to add him as an advisor to Angel Baby Hitsquad as just as a thank you to like entering me into the space. And obviously, he has great insight on any questions that I have about the development of the project. And then Bizarre Stars was a natural airdrop overall.
Yeah. And I can't wait for my airdrop personally. I've loved every single airdrop that I've got. I have an Angel Baby Hit Squad, as you know. Um, and for everybody listening, if you don't have an Angel Baby Hit Squad, still minting, right? And then on top of that, you can still use ADA to purchase it. Is that correct?
Yes. So we obviously coming from a Cardano native team like myself, our developer, our advisors, our community managers are all ADA people, and the entire intention behind the project was to kind of bridge the two blockchains, expose ADA people to Ethereum and expose Ethereum people to ADA. So we wanted the people who have never experienced Ethereum before and have never gone through that minting process to have an easier onboard solution. So basically, they open up a ticket request in our Discord, and we do the entire process for them.
Nice. It was weird because when I was like, okay, MetaMask, for me was something very foreign or whatever, and so I got one. Yours was the first ever Ethereum NFT that I've ever bought, and I'm sure a lot of people in the space that have angel babies, that's the same for them, But then it got me. My kids looking at like crypto kitties and stuff like that, and doing
Yeah.
some of those and whatnot. But then I always looked at the Ethereum space is like very not lack of better terms diluted, I guess you would say. Like I'm thinking, I don't know what's going to hit. I
Yeah.
think on Cardano, with our NFTs, I feel like you have a sense of what's going to hit and what's not
Right.
if you
I
really.
think just the time in the market also makes it a lot easier to kind of weed your way through all the collections that are out there. I mean, if I joined Cardano NFTs today and I saw every single derivative project being dropped, I would have no clue where to start. So I think the longer that you spend, at least being aware of certain NFTs and certain projects in separate blockchains, then you start to kind of navigate that a little bit better.
Yeah. So like this week, I was doing the weekly mints video last night, and I was just like, I realized halfway through, I was like, all of these projects are derivative projects this week. Like, what is happening? Like, it's not normally this many. So, what is your kind of opinion on derivative projects?
It's probably not going to be received well by the new collectors of these projects, but I feel like if I'm building a project, if I'm building in my mind a company, a business that I intend to have around for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, I really want to be proud of that business. I want to be proud of the art. I want to be proud of the foundation. I want to be proud of the team. I want to be proud about everything uh, inside and outside of what that business is. And I feel like if I were to create a derivative project where it's just somebody else's artwork put on a different blockchain, I would not be proud about I feel like you're by investing and buying into these projects, you're buying into something that somebody isn't going to be proud about in 5 years and is most likely not going to be around anymore. So when I buy into projects, when I mint projects, or when I buy off secondary, I try to go buy into the founders and the ones that I could tell truly care about their projects. And how much can you truly care about a project that you didn't put any work into besides taking the art and putting it on a different blockchain?
I think that's really well put, honestly. I hadn't really thought about it like that. I guess if I had to run a project, how would I be proud of something that is basically copied? Like, I don't know. I couldn't go around and tell my mom, like, look at what I did. It'd be like, isn't that, I mean, me and my mom's a bad example. She's not going to know regardless, but you know what I'm saying?
It's like cheating on a test and then being like yelling at everybody, look, I got a passing score.
That's a way better example.
Yeah. In your heart you didn't do it, and I'm sure in 5 years and 10 years you're not going to be thinking about that test. But
right,
you studied for a month and you grinded and you passed it just barely, and then you became a doctor because of like whatever field that you're studying in. You're going to remember that test, and that's kind of an analogy. Like, you want to be proud of that work that you're putting in,
because
100%.
It's a shortcut, right? It's basically a shortcut.
Yeah.
You're basically, shorting yourself the work so you can get the ultimate end goal or whatever. And then basically it cheapens the work or the hard labor involved, right? So, I mean, how much can you really care about something that might be just like anybody else? You know what I'm saying? Or it has already been done before.
Right.
I feel like,
and I think if you're buying into it, you're just priming yourself to get rugged. Like, I would put a significant bet down on certain projects out there right now that in a year they're not going to be around.
Yeah. And it's kind of like a numbers game, isn't it? Like, statistically, most of these aren't going to stick around if it is at least close to copycat work,
Right. And naturally, it's the same thing with starting a business. I think 90% of businesses fail in their first year, and then the next 10 years, another 90% of those fail. So you have to expect the NFT projects that you're buying into to fail. Sometimes you'll find the winners that will outlast it. But why, if you're looking for that 1%, are you going for the the bottom of the barrel when you're searching for it?
Right. And I think a lot of people have this mindset, or at least I know I fall into it, and it's like, well, I'm just trying to flip it. And it's like, well, still, like, there's no reason if nobody's going to buy it after that. But, we think beforehand, like, oh, but everybody's going to flip it. And it's like, yeah, exactly. That's why the floor price is not going to do well.
Yeah. It's like chasing after it and just hoping that you don't catch the top.
Yeah.
So
go on.
No, Nick, go ahead, dude.
No, I was just gonna say, because Cosmos asked too, is the asset on, and I'll just pull it up, on Ethereum or Cardano? Sorry if I missed this information. So I know this might be answered in more of like a why don't you just introduce yourself, talk about how you got started and everything kind of question, but
sorry, I just assumed everybody knew exactly who he was.
Still, but I don't know if everybody knows like the backstory to it,
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
I can go into a whole introduction. So I'm Fettucine. Initially, I came into the space when SpaceBuds dropped, just as a collector. I saw something cool. I was introduced by Greek Freak. He tweeted out saying like, "Hey, check out these things dropping right now. They're the CryptoPunks of Cardano." So that was when I first got in. I put $500 in from Coinbase into I bought $500 worth of Cardano, and I minted 2 SpaceBuds with Coinbase. So I ended up losing those. I didn't know that you couldn't mint without a wallet. So then I sent the remaining $350 into my Yoroi wallet, which was like the popular Cardano wallet at the time, and I minted the rest of the SpaceBuds. So I minted like 7 of them, and then I just got on my journey of flipping and trading and learning and asking so many questions about the Cardano blockchain and falling in love with it. So that was really what made me love Cardano, talking to the community members, talking to the creators. And then I spent more and more of my time during the day, and I realized then that there was like the Ethereum NFT ecosystem was blowing up at the time, and the Cardano NFT ecosystem wasn't. And I was like, the people here are so cool, the creators here are so cool. Why is Cardano NFTs not getting the attention that Ethereum NFTs are? So I came up with the idea of having an Ethereum NFT with the Cardano utility, so that people in the Ethereum ecosystem could purchase the NFT, link their wallets, and then they'd get Cardano NFTs airdropped into their Cardano wallets for free, just for interacting with with my project. And then I hoped by getting these free Cardano NFTs, they would fall in love with what I fell in love with, talk with the creators that they were airdropped, and want to get involved with the Cardano ecosystem. And through this project, I've helped create over 150 Cardano wallets for the first time, which is awesome. I think it's like super cool to see it's actually working and in the process. But to answer the question, yes, the original angels are on Ethereum, and then the airdrops are on Cardano. And then we have Demon Hit Squad coming on Cardano. So we have both projects, one project on Ethereum and one project on Cardano. So it's like playing between the two ecosystems.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. So your first NFT was a space bud.
Well, my first NFT was NBA Top Shot, actually.
Oh, okay.
I was involved with NBA Top Shot, and that was how I started following Greek Freak on Twitter. He was like a big time NBA Top Shot collector, and that was when he tweeted out like, "Hey, check out these things dropping on Cardano," and that was when I bought my first Cardano.
Oh, dude, I'm so jealous. I came like a couple months after that, so yeah, that's freaking epic. Oh man. So did you flip your space bud after you got it, and buy more, or are you out of space buds? How many do you own?
So I put the $500 in, and I've actually never put in more like money into Cardano or NFTs since. It's just been from that original $500, and I flipped I minted 7 space buds. I flipped 4 of them for like 4,000 ADA. I used that to buy into the next project. I flipped that. I used that to buy into the next project. I flipped that, and now I'm at 50 space buds. I have 50 of every other project. So
oh my god.
I started with that original $500, which is actually $350 because I lost 150 of it to Coinbase.
So what were you doing before you did Cardano and NFTs?
Well, I'm a professional marketer, so I was before this I was head of marketing for a payment processing company in New York City. And then when I launched Angel Baby Hit Squad, I realized kind of what I was creating. And I realized I wouldn't be giving my collectors the true effort that they deserved had I kept my job. So I left my job to go full time into the space, which has been so rewarding, like interacting with everybody and people who trust in my collection and believe in the mission of connecting the blockchains and connecting the brightest minds between the blockchain. I think it's been really, really awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna let cleanup go before I get on a spree.
No, it's okay. Yeah, thanks for being on. Sorry we didn't cover that at the start. I just figured like everybody knew exactly who you were and stuff like that. So that's my bad. New move on my part. So you did the unthinkable and you sent from Coinbase. Okay. Did nobody warn you beforehand?
I was a Cardano NFT noob, or NFT noob in general, because on Top Shot you just bought with whatever was in your account. And I'm like, it just makes sense. It'll go to my Coinbase wallet. But then I didn't realize that Coinbase didn't have a wallet at the time. So those are gone. And I actually had a conversation with somebody pretty high up in Coinbase, and they elevated my support ticket all the way to the top. And then after that, they emailed me back and they're like, "Yeah, you're fucked. You're not getting it back." So
oh like, no.
I'm not getting my 2 space buds back.
Do they help anybody? Like, is there an actual way? Has anybody ever gotten their NFT from Coinbase?
I think they're actually building like an asset recovery for Ethereum NFTs that are lost, but there's nothing on the pipeline for any other blockchains.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah,
That's so rough. And it's space buds too. That's the thing. It could have been anything. I wish there were, no, because you don't want to see it, right?
Yeah, but it was also a learning experience. Like as soon as I did that, then that's like kind of the biggest brutal awakening. Like, all right, now I need to actually take this seriously. Crypto is super serious. If you lose control of it, you lose control of it. There's nothing you could do to get it back. So it made me realize how important wallet security is, how important trading is, and a lot. So I mean, I asked a million questions of people as soon as I figured out that those were gone, trying to get them back, and I learned so much through that process.
Is there anybody in the space like you kind of talk to on a regular basis, like you look up to or draw inspiration from? or
I
anything
think
like
I
that?
think there's incredible builders in the space. I talk to a good amount of like the bigger creators in the space on a regular basis, just because of how many partnerships and things we have with Angel Baby Hit Squad. I think obviously like Alessandro is an incredible developer. I think the way he's pushing the space forward is it's so cool. And I mean, I'm the furthest thing from a developer. I barely know how to use my computer, so I think like I really like admire people who excel in their fields. I think Lena and Junes from Cleanation, awesome duo there, and they have an awesome team. So I like the way that they run their project. I think, and then there's incredible artists too. Like any of the airdroppers that are featured for Angel Baby Hit Squad, I really appreciate their art, and I really appreciate the way that they run their projects. And I tried to highlight the kind of the best of Cardano and give it for free to these Ethereum people.
And I think Hype Skulls is one of my favorite ones so far. I don't know. I know you have a lot coming down the pipeline, and I'm very excited for that. What is like? So how many legendaries do you have left?
Oh yeah. So actually, with minting the Angel Baby Hit Squad, we offer a lot of like in real life utility too. So we have parties every few months. We threw an official Coachella after party. We did one in Vegas after that. We're doing a pop up in New York for NFT NYC, and then we have a CNFT Con after party for so you get access if you own an Angel Baby Hit Squad. Sorry, it's just getting a call. Um, and then we have something called Ultimate Angels. There's 7 total in the collection. Only 3 have been minted out of the, I think we're 70% minted right now, but 3 out of the 7 are minted. So there's still 4 remaining. And if you mint an Ultimate Angel Baby Hit Squad, then you get lifetime access to an invite only club in Los Angeles, which is a pretty cool like little bonus.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. I like that. Yeah, so they're little cherubs. What did you I'm sure you've been asked this before, but obviously there's newer people in here. So what made you decide on a cherub, kind of?
So initially, I knew I wanted to create the Ethereum NFT with Cardano utility, but I didn't know what I wanted the art to be. I knew I wanted to expose Ethereum people to Cardano. So my girlfriend has a clothing brand in New York City called 99 Angels. So I'm like, all right, I'll do angels. And then I kind of want it to be like that timeless image, like when you're walking through Italy and you see a statue of angels, like angels have been around forever. They're not like computer images. I want it to be these Renaissance angels, but with kind of a dark side. So they're holding guns, they're holding rocket launchers, knives, or whatever. I wanted it to be like an edgy Renaissance angel, and that was the inspiration behind the angels. And then I saw somebody say sad for me living in Australia. We actually have plans for international parties as well. So we partnered with Frescoes, who down the line we're going to give upgrades and discounts at various hotels throughout Europe. We're doing a yacht party that we're planning in Greece, which would be pretty cool. And then obviously I would love to extend it to Australia, to Asia. I want it to be a worldwide brand, not just something centralized around New York and LA and Miami.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you too, because you don't only have your own project, but you're on so many other projects as well as either like a lead or an advisor or something. Like, how do you balance all of this?
Well, I mean, I've always been a hard worker. And I think that was why, yeah, at such a young age, I was able to excel in my various jobs that I've worked my way up through. And when I left like my full time job to go full time into the space, it opened up so much free time to do this. And initially, like obviously now I'm not taking on advising roles on other projects, but initially I had all this free time and I was just a collector. So I was helping people out and giving them tips and advice for how I think they should launch their project. And I've obviously given advice to a ton of different projects. And then basically as Angel Baby's Hit Squad rolled out, then that became my full-time focus, but I still give the advice to the projects that I was giving advice to before.
So how many projects are you on right now? I know that there's Ape Nation, and I know that you have obviously Angel Baby Hit Squad, and I can't remember the others, but I'm sure there's like what, 4 others or something?
So Ape Nation, I came on as an advisor. Then Prismatics is this art. It's like a small collection art piece by Alexia Rubo, a really talented artist. Then there is Mini Magic Kingdom, which is coming out soon, and then I believe that's it. And then I help manage for a few different artists. So Chadi Nassar, I help out his artwork. Charles Gitnick, he's coming out with a project soon called Humanity NFTs. And then Glass, who is doing the artwork for Demon Hit Squad. So those are just artists that I helped get their name out there more, but they weren't running projects before.
Nice. So I'm trying to think. What is something that you did marketing wise in like the real like financial sector or whatever that you can take with you and brought to kind of like the blockchain that kind of works for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a whole different world. I mean, I've done everything that you could think of. I've done sales. I've done uh, been involved with the CBD company. I've been in telecommunications. I've been uh, in so many different facets of like the real world. And I think that little snippets of things that I've learned from each position, I've been able to apply into the space. And I think a big one that I got out of this space is the power of collaboration and the power of working, bringing two groups together and taking the most powerful ideas and most powerful uh, whatever people from those two groups and creating something really amazing. And I wanted to create the best of the best with Angel Baby Hit Squad. That's why we have 4 different partnerships and 16 different airdrop partnerships. And any opportunity that I want to give to angel holders, I'm gonna give it to them through those partnerships.
So how much would it cost in Cardano to buy or mint one right now?
275 right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna hit you up after this.
Yeah.
I sadly don't have one, but I've always wanted one, so I gotta bite the bullet and do it.
You gotta just go for it. And you got 9 more airdrops coming, including Cleanation, including Space Buds, including With Spaces, Aeonium Sky, and
Oh,
I'd have
I'm
to get
sold.
yeah,
I'm
that's
sold.
You can't miss. You can't miss. Like
Yeah.
you're literally naming every single project I've ever wanted to be a part of, right? And so it's very hard.
And a lot of
Not
these projects have such an inaccessible price point. So even for the Cardano people who came in late and they can't afford a Space Bud or can't afford a Cleanation, they could buy one Angel Baby Hit Squad for 275 ADA and get kind of an entry level NFT to every single project they've kind of wanted to be a part of.
which is crazy. So like what okay, you had to approach these people, right? And was it just like I know that they respect you, right, from the spaces and stuff like that. So there was kind of like a mutual respect there. But how would you approach somebody? Like, let's say there's somebody inside the space right now that's looking to approach anybody else. Like, what's a proper way to approach somebody for like a collab or whatever it may be? You know what I mean?
I think it was easier for me just because I had solidified my kind of my name in the community before I released Angel Baby Hit Squad. I'd been that person that people see on Twitter and talking about projects that I like, talking about projects that I don't like, and people uh, respected my opinion enough to give me some standing in the community. So when I reach out to these projects, a lot of the conversations were easier than it would be for most people. But I think the easiest thing, I mean, I just give kudos where kudos is due to these projects like Approach and Cleanation. They're such an incredible project, and it would be such an honor to work with them in whatever capacity possible. And I think that's how I was approaching these different projects, and most of them were happy to do that. And then some projects approached me and were like, "Hey, can we be one of your airdroppers?" And I had to go through each one and kind of give that give that like deep dive from me into them and see like, all right, is this project that I see around in 10 years? Is this an artist that I see around in 10 years? And these are the airdropping artists that I want to put ABH's name attached to. So it was kind of a back and forth between me using whatever due diligence I could give into whatever projects that I wanted to be a part of. And then when a project approached me and was asking, then I had to research that way too and see if it made sense for me to say yes to them. And then when we hit like 16, I was like, all right, that's enough to cut it off for angels. But then we're obviously going to have some airdrops for demons too. So that's another in for whatever projects are interested in.
And so, yeah, because when you're thinking about it, it's 16 airdrops. Even if you do one a month, you're pressing out airdrops for a full year. You know what I mean? That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot of free stuff.
Yeah, I realize that the space is so, like, the attention span of collectors in the space are like less than a goldfish. It's probably like 1 second and then it's on to the next hot thing. So I knew that it was going to be a harder ask to get ADA Cardano people to go over and mint on Ethereum. I knew it was going to be a longer mint process. So I wanted something to be a regular reminder about my project. And that's why you see Angel Baby Hit Squad in Twitter every few weeks, because there's another airdrop, and we're tapping into this community and then this community and then this community. And there's always going to be something continually keeping our project in people's eyes. So that's like why I structured it that way. And it's also better than just airdropping thousands of NFTs right away and then the floor goes down and immediately. Like you want people to appreciate each person's art and give the due to each airdropping artist.
So the way that you're doing this, a lot of projects when they first mint, you get the initial mint, and then it's usually like a slow kind of like trailing off, and then it's just done, like no more minting, right? But because of the way that you structure this, do you see kind of a steady stream of minting?
Yeah. So I mean, we're 6 months into minting. We're now 70% minted out, and we haven't had a day yet without a mint, which is incredible that we've stayed in people's minds enough. So even this late, every day there's some reason why somebody wants to join into the community. And what's even more incredible than that is out of the 7,100 minted, only 52 are listed on secondary. So when we do sell out, there's going to be like very, very slim pickings for the people that want to buy in, but they're a little late.
Yeah, dude. So, Nick, can you bring up my Angel Baby so I can show it off?
Which one do you have?
Okay, I have 1460.
All right. I set up my room in a weird way recently. This is the first time I'm streaming with this setup, so I have to like look around monitors. All right, how do I use OpenSea to search for your exact? Is it just search by name?
You go on raritysniper.com.
Oh man, he's bringing up the search. Oh good lord, that's a risk every single time.
And then search Angel Baby. It's fun.
Whoops, definitely not.
That's not it.
And then you should be able to type in asset number.
NFT ID or
yes.
Yeah. All right. And what's yours?
01460.
Did you mint it recently?
No. Try 4741. Maybe
4741. This one?
That's not it. That's not it.
Yeah, so sometimes Rarity Sniper updates every 300-400 mints. So if you minted in the last like few weeks, then it wouldn't show up there. So you'd have to put from your OpenSea account.
Well, this is what he looks like, right? Oh man, you can't see it.
It almost zoomed for a second. Let's see. I'll solo you. There we go. If you turn off the blur effect, it'll look better.
Dang. Okay.
I think. Don't quote me.
Well, do I want to?
It just looked like you were blurring.
Sorry.
The image was blurring.
Nah, there's no way. It's gonna
give it a
like
shot.
crap either way.
It's gonna look beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, it looks way better now. Yeah, that's what's up.
It's got like the Road Warrior, a nice little harp on there. Yeah.
Yeah, the armor too. Whoops. Some of the I just found out today. We were like looking at some of the attributes and zooming in some people in the community, and there's like what Shinji and King Debs did to build every single asset. So, like you zoom in on like the night vision goggles, and if you go in all the way there, it says like ABHS on the side.
Yeah,
I never caught until today. So there's so many like little hidden things inside the art that if you zoom in, you see some really cool things.
Yeah. What do you have a favorite trait or anything like that?
I think my favorite trait is the coin eyes. I think like there's so much detail in them. If you go to eyes, you have to click clear on the top middle,
Um,
or delete the asset ID. I think probably refresh the page, and then if you look at coin eyes, oh, wait. Does it say clear all in the middle?
clear all. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Appreciate it.
Now
Yeah, I'm a
you
noob.
now go to eyes and do coin eyes,
Coin eyes. Coins.
and then click one of them, and then click the OpenSea.
This?
Yep. And now click on the actual angel, and then zoom in on the coins. Can you use like two?
I don't know if I can zoom in. It's zooming in on the page, but
the coins have so much detail on them. If you could like get in on
oh
them.
man,
Now
how
I'm
do
not
I
gonna,
zoom in?
now I'm not gonna say this, but you can try to right click and save this one time. Okay, that way we can zoom in.
That's a good point. That's a good point. We'll put it on desktop.
I actually, if you go on my Twitter and scroll down, I think like 20 posts, maybe
Oh,
like
what
30
week?
posts.
It's on your Twitter, you said?
I'm trying to see how far down. It might be too far down. I tweet a lot.
So the first time, okay, so I've followed you for a while, okay, but then all of a sudden, I think one of your first blow ups, right, huge blow ups, was when you posted a picture, I think, with Mike Tyson.
Oh, snap.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How did that happen? And then what did you say to the baddest man in America? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's actually a funny story. If you pull up the Angel Baby Hit Squad Discord, I think it's a pinned tweet announcing our merch. But he actually went to high school with my dad way back in the day, like in upstate New York, and they were friends back then. And then they moved to Brooklyn at the same time when they were like 12, 13 years old. If you go to the Twitter, the Angel Baby Hit Squad Twitter. So they moved together to Brooklyn, and so they've been friends when they were like childhood friends, and then they disconnected. And one day, my dad was walking through Las Vegas, and Mike Tyson saw him, and he's like, Mike, because my dad's name is Michael too. He's like, Mike, how have you been? I haven't seen you in so long, and that was how they reconnected. So then when I saw he was in the NFT scene, I realized that. I was like, why would I not use this connection? So we made an honorary angel for him. He tweeted that out a while ago. And then he was in New York for an event, and I just met up with him when he was in New York to give him a hoodie and chat with him about a different business.
That's really, really cool. Now, you also posted a photo of you and Gary V. Okay, so what happened there? What did you do? Was it just a meetup?
That was a quick meetup during NFT NYC. I saw him on the street, and I was like, "Hey, Gary, what's up?" But NFT NYC is a great event for people to go to and just meet anybody in the community. I went to like one after party where it was myself sitting with the founders of Cool Cats, with Wesley Snipes, with Andy Milanakis, and the CEO of OpenSea. And it was like all of us at one table, and I'm like, how did I end up here? And then I also met Gary Vee there. I met people there. It was very, very cool just chatting with people in the community.
So go ahead.
Go on.
No,
I was just
go
gonna.
ahead.
It's a little off topic, but I'm just curious. Like, do you still like? I don't know. Do you still get a buzz from flipping? Do you still love flipping and like getting in projects and doing all that?
I love flipping. I do it. I mean, I came into this space as a collector. I didn't come in as a creator. I created Angel Baby Hit Squad because I saw the need for that connection between the blockchains. But I'm buying NFTs every day for a flip. I recently minted like 100 and 207 of the onboard NFTs, and I flipped like 50 of them. Like I think it's the coolest thing in the world when I can buy an NFT and sell it like the next day for double the amount. It's just fun. I mean, my most recent play was I bought a bunch of the Goblin Towns, and then flipped like 20 something of them for a decent amount. It was a pretty good play.
So you flip NFTs for both blockchains as well?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm always, I don't know. I'm just like Cardano's my first and only, and I'm just like so nervous to go over to Ethereum and like try, because I'm still kind of broke, admittedly. So like I feel like if I try to go a little hard, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna get smacked in the face and I'll just like come with my tail between my legs back to Cardano.
It's worth the exploration. It's worth researching, and then when you find one that just makes sense, then you do it. And I think, I mean, I say it a good amount, but I think like Cardano collectors, when they stay only on Cardano, they're doing themselves such a huge disservice, not exposing to the potentials on ETH. Like Goblin Town was a free mint, and it shot up to 8 Ethereum. Like you don't see that on Cardano. And
No.
if you're a really true Cardano maxi, take some of that money back and bring it back to Cardano. And I think
Yeah.
that's a fun way where you learn and you experience on both blockchains. You take whatever you can out of it, and you create something better. I take what I learned from Ethereum NFTs all the time, and I try to apply it to my collection.
Yeah, I appreciate that insight.
Yeah, yeah. No, that is great. That is great. I think yeah, we can learn a lot from other spaces. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like I was just scared. I was scared of ETH NFTs, to be quite honest with you. You're my only exposure. Like I looked at them from a distant on YouTube, and I was like, okay, that's crazy. Like it's crazy, right? Because it's like new projects all the time, and you don't know what's gonna hit. Like you truly never know what's gonna hit,
And
right? And so it's just kind of like the ultimate crapshoot.
it is. It's like it's buying a lottery ticket every time, but you can do enough research where your odds are a little bit better than just randomly shooting in the dark. So I think if you play it right, I mean, I obviously looking back, I would have made different moves, but did I did keep it really tight with whatever collections that I ended up buying into. And that was just asking questions. I never FOMO'd into whatever was hot on Twitter at that time. I wanted to learn about a project before I bought in heavily into it, and that's paid dividends in the long term. Like I think if I look back at my wallet over the past year and a half, there's significantly less rug pulls in my wallet than most other people's.
Yeah, I want to ask because I guess we missed this question, but Cosmos wants to know, in order to get the airdrops for Angel Baby Hit Squad, how do you link your wallet?
Yeah, so we partnered with a project called Lovelace World. I had a call with them about a different business, and they mentioned like, oh, we created this bridge from Ethereum to Cardano. We can link an Ethereum wallet with a Cardano wallet. And that was like when the light bulb went off. I'm like, can I use that? And they're like, yeah, absolutely, go for it. So we're the only project using it right now. If you go into our Discord and you click official links, and you click Love Link, that's where you connect your Ethereum wallet. You paste your Cardano wallet. You put your Discord username, and then you click sign. And then from then on, we know which Ethereum address is associated with which Cardano address, and we just airdrop to the associated Cardano address. Yes, so you see it there. You click Love Link, yeah, official links, then Love Link.
Now they have Lovelace has you probably know, and you can't divulge much, but they have something huge coming. Am I wrong about that?
Lovelace is a very, very well developed group of people. I'll say that they have awesome partnerships. Obviously, a partnership with Angel Baby Hit Squad, and they have a partnership with Cornucopia. Huge projects, and their development capabilities are far and above what I've seen on a lot of Cardano NFTs and stuff like that. So just keep an eye out for them. I think it's definitely worth. I think any partnership that Angel Baby Hit Squad has, keep an eye on, and Lovelace is definitely one of those.
because I was doing research and like this was a little while ago, you know, and I was just looking at all the proposals and everything like that, and I was just like, shit, I might have to hop in. You know what I mean? It's just they're doing so much, and I can't. You know, I don't know any alpha moves or like whatever the heck they're called now. You know what I'm saying? But it's one that I would like to throw my hat into the ring. You know,
Yeah,
for sure.
they're an integral part of the Angel Baby Hit Squad ecosystem. I mean, they're the way that we airdrop to the Cardano wallets through the Ethereum NFT. So huge thank you to their team.
Yeah, so back on the topic of flipping, just because I'm obsessed with it and I'm always trying to better myself. So I got to ask from the general here, you know, I've been trying to think like maybe minting isn't always the only way to flip, right? Like there's obviously going to be dips and stuff in projects, and then there's also the hyper cycle is what I call it, with like, you know, Kongs, Cornucopias, Clays, and Space Buds, where they kind of like circle their way in and out of projects as they move up. It's kind of how I view it with new like announcements. But what do you think about projects like Tiger Society or Planet Pals, where they're building still, but they're kind of quiet in the background? Do you think those projects can kind of like come out of that low, you know, ADA price? And if so, are you also buying some off of the floor at these like extremely cheap prices? Like Tiger Society's at like 25 ADA, you know? So what do you think about that?
I'm not well versed on Tiger Society, but Planet Pals I love still. I think he's an incredible developer. I think he's an incredible guy. I mean, I talk with him every week, and for those more utility heavy NFTs where they're building something that's going to be available in a year, and I know I can play that long game, then I'm 100% buying those off of the floor. When people, because like I said before, the attention span here is like nothing. So as soon as a project doesn't show something in a week or two, it's going to dip, and that's the perfect time to buy these projects that have that long term roadmap. But again, you'd have to focus on whichever teams are delivering and in the Discord and answering questions and things like, yes, we're building this, and you could see that they genuinely care about their project. I lean more towards minting instead of buying secondary, but obviously whenever there's an opportunity, I think in a bear market, it's the best time to kind of consolidate your projects and put it into those winners. So anytime that in the past, there was projects I wasn't so sure about, I would sell them and then buy another Space Bud, or sell them and buy a Clay Nation, or sell them and buy whatever project I was more confident in. So that was my strategy that way. And then obviously you see projects with good teams, and that's usually what I go heavier into. I've seen like Mars Birds just recently took off, and one flip that I made, I bought the fifth or sixth highest rarity one for 999 ADA, and within 6 hours I sold it for 2500 ADA, just because I saw how quickly sales were going off, like this, but the sixth highest rarest one was only 999 ADA. So I saw an opportunity that nobody else was going to take right then. So I just bought it and then immediately listed it for 2 times as much, and it sold that night. So I think it's really just staying in tune with the ecosystem, following on Twitter what's hot, and playing into that. Yeah, I think that's it.
So you own 2 mutant apes from the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Did you own the original apes and you pieced out with them, or did you buy those off secondary?
I bought those off secondary.
Okay.
So one of them I minted at 3 Ethereum, or I didn't mint. I bought it off a secondary at 3 Ethereum. And then another one I sold 3 of my goblins on that recent Goblin Town play, and bought another mutant. But there was, I had one in the past. I had a second one in the past that I bought for like 6 Ethereum, and I sold it for 28, 29 Ethereum.
Oh,
that's killer. But it also depends on when you bought, because if you bought when Ethereum was like 9,000, right, as opposed to now when it's like 1,700,
yeah,
you're now eating your shorts.
But I always just try to build on my Ethereum balance, and I try to build on my Cardano balance. I try not to look at the value of the ADA. If I bought for 5,000 ADA and then I sell for 6,000 ADA, I'm happy, because I know that I want to keep my money in the ecosystem. I don't take money out too often, unless it's like to pay my bills. But most of it is intended to stay in the ecosystem. It's intended to stake. It's intended to support other projects that I think deserve the support, and that's why I'm happy with anything as long as the ADA value or Ethereum value is going up.
Yeah, what do you think about the Clay tokens coming out and the Clay allocations? Because I saw their Discord had a vote for rarities, and they voted against the rarities so far. Now, obviously, we don't know the allocations to like what their weights hold for those votes because we don't know how many they own, and it kind of makes sense that the majority of people would want it to not count because the majority of people have not as good ones. But
there's only 5% of people with the rare ones.
Right.
But I love the Clay team. They came to New York a few months ago, and we partied way too late. I'm flying to Austin on Wednesday to hang out with them at Consensus, so that should be a good time too. I think they're an incredible team. I'm super excited about whatever they're coming up with. I try to keep up to date with most projects, but it's hard with however many Discords I'm in, and however much time I put into the project that I'm running. So I think anything that they do, I support fully.
I 100% agree. Arrow Art says, how do you live off your crypto investments? Because in Australia, it's a 50% capital gains tax. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's heavy. So, I mean, I was relatively successful in my previous job experience. So that was mostly what I was living off of this past year. And anything that I made in the crypto sphere, I wanted to keep in the crypto sphere. Obviously, I've set up a few different LLCs, and I try to keep any trades over an extended period of time, because once you go over 1 year, then it's long-term capital gains instead of short-term, which is like a 20% reduction. And then I also sell my NFTs as kind of a digital gallery. So when I buy NFTs, I add it to my inventory in my gallery, and then when I sell it, it's taking inventory out of my gallery, and that's taxed at a slightly lower percentage than if I was just trading as if they were stocks.
That's really smart.
It's the company buying it, essentially, right?
Yeah,
It's how you want it to be, because it's very different.
Yeah.
If you make an investment, that screws you, right? If the company makes the investment, man, like, hey, it's company's fault.
It falls on the company.
Right.
Yeah, now sometimes I take some money out for like investments. I recently invested in a special needs platform, so it's like a Peloton but for special needs students. So whenever they log on, they could work out and they'll level up on their profile, which I think is like a really awesome initiative, and that was started this past year. So I was really pumped to take some crypto gains and invest in a real world company doing real good. So sometimes I do that, and those have done well too. So it's kind of just it's been this past year has been a real blessing, turning the $500 into all these opportunities.
That blows my mind, man.
Isn't it crazy? It's crazy though. It
right? Is crazy. Like, that's what you think about, right? You're just like, oh, dude, I could just take 500, right? And then all I need is one good play, and then I could just be smart with it, and I'm good. Like, that's what everybody thinks, but nobody actually executes on that. Nobody. Like,
yeah, if you minted 3 Bored Apes,
yeah,
April of last year, you would have had like $1 million in all the airdrops, and that's $600 total that you would have spent.
The power of diamond hands.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but that's the thing, is like, who knew it was going to blow up, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Nobody knew. You know what I'm saying? And like, do you think roadmaps are very important, or do you just
general structure is okay? But I think this space is ever changing. Like, things move so quickly. There's new technology every day, and to limit yourself to a rigid roadmap, I think is very destructive to your project. I think you should be nimble with your project to kind of ebb and flow as the market does and as the technology does, so you could adjust into this new pathway or adjust into this new pathway. Like if I see an opportunity for Angel Baby Hit Squad and for my holders, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to let that fall by the wayside because I have this on my roadmap to complete first and this on my roadmap to complete first. So I think a general structure is important. Unless obviously it's like an art focused NFT where you just have the art and you're an artist and you're releasing your art. But if you have a project with the intention of building out a serious community, then I think there should be some kind of guidance, but obviously not something so rigid that you don't allow yourself the flexibility to grow with different opportunities.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this too. I covered a project and they had like pretty much everything that you want to see in a project. Like they're going to do staking, they're going to have their own coins, they're going to do their airdrops, they're doing collabs. Like I was like, okay, like these are staples at this point. This is what every project needs or what most projects want, right? And the people want. But now that most projects are starting to do this, it's not like, oh, well, this project's doing coins. So like, yeah, it's like, no, dude, all projects are doing coins. All projects are doing this. How do you stand out anymore?
You should also be very wary about projects being like, oh, we're going to have a utility token and do this, because there's so many legal, like not loopholes. There's so many legal things that you have to get over to properly execute a utility token and not have it be registered, not have it be a security. And so, I mean, I'm talking with lawyers every week about possible extensions to Angel Baby Hit Squad and how we could grow, and they're like no. And a lot of these projects that I see now are not following the guidelines that should be, and when regulation comes, there's going to be a crackdown on those ones. So I'd be careful unless they're properly set up. Like that's why I look at Bored Ape a lot in terms of how they're running their project and how I'd like to see how my project develops, and the amount of work that they put in to properly release it, their token is just like miles beyond what other projects are doing. And that's if Angel Baby Hit Squad comes out with a token, which we plan on doing down the line, it's going to be regulated correctly so that we don't face those problems that other projects are going to be running into. So I mean, and those are all buzzwords too. Like people are going to be like, oh, we have a utility token, we have this, we have this, we have this. But like, I want to see a project actually executed. And I don't mind sometimes paying a premium and missing out on that, like that FOMO to buy into a project, because I'll have saved myself 5 other rug pulls just trying to buy into the hype.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think though, like how do projects really stand out nowadays? You know what I mean? Like it's usually art, right? Like it's like judging a book by its cover. The first thing you see is art. So cool. But then you're like, all right, well, what is this art going to give me? And everybody's given the same thing now. And it's like, okay, well, I'm having a hard time. And even more so, this is another topic. I'm getting like crazy in my head, but like all Discords now are botted to shit, like heavily botted. It wasn't like that before, but all of them now, you know? So I don't know. How do you make decisions at this point? I'm in there, I'm asking questions, but like all of them are botted.
Yeah, it is crazy how how much the ecosystem has changed. I think it was a lot easier to navigate like a year ago when there was 50 projects total out there, and you could see which ones you wanted to back and understand everything about every project. And now, based on like what I learned in that time, now I could kind of see projects that come out that give me that same vibe, that same sense that I got from the projects that I truly respected and I truly wanted to collect. So when I kind of did a quick glance at a project, I understood if that was one that I wanted to buy in, or if that's not one that I wanted to buy in. And I think when I do like a face value scan of a project, I don't want to see 1,000 promises. I want to see something very simple. This is their goal, and who is the team. And if there's somebody that I've seen in the space and I know they care about Cardano NFTs, they're not just an anonymous profile that popped up that past week, then that's a project that I'm more likely to support than this next NFT project that has 15,000 people on Twitter that they probably bought the followers for and throw money there, because I think that's more likely to lose it. And that's another thing that I'm like super proud about Angel Baby Hit Squad getting to. I think they're at like 8,500 followers on Twitter, but every single one of them is genuine. It's not. It's never been paid for it. Nothing like that. Where you see a project that just created the Twitter yesterday have the same amount of followers, but it's not legit.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Do you think that's a product of like the whitelist situation in most discords now? Like,
Yeah,
I
I hate the whitelist meta. Like people grind in the Discord. I think that's the word. If I see somebody say like grind in the Discord to get the whitelist, I immediately leave the Discord. It's just not a project that I want to be involved in. I want I want the projects that I buy into to be no bullshit. Like tell me how it is, and if I'm convinced enough, then I'm gonna buy in, and I'll buy in. I'll be a supporter for the entire time that I'm in NFTs. Like I buy projects a good amount so that I could sell some and then long hold the rest after I've recovered my initial cost, and then I don't sell them. Like I have NFTs from a year and a half ago, the first week that I bought in, just because I never intend to sell those NFTs, and I'm going to be a supporter for the entire project's duration. So I appreciate honesty. I mean, when people come into Angel Baby Hit Squad, I don't tell them that they're going to 100x right away. They're going to get what they get. They're going to get 9 airdrops. They're going to get the demon token. They're going to get an awesome community. They're going to get awesome merch. Like I put a ton of work into making really high quality hoodies and custom tags and custom embroidery and custom screen prints and awesome quality hats. I want you to be really proud about what you see and go to awesome parties, and that's it. And if the price of the NFT goes up along the way, then awesome.
so in Johnson in there asked clothing available. That was a question.
Yeah, hitsquadmerch.com.
Hitsquadmerch.com. Hit it up. I might have to get a hoodie. Now, can I buy it's with fiat currency. You don't buy in ADA, is that correct?
Well, I mean, if we've had a few people that didn't want to buy with fiat, so they just opened up a ticket in our Discord and paid.
That is the biggest example of being bank poor but ADA rich if I've ever heard it. Like it's like, man, I ain't got a dollar in my name, but god damn, I got these stacks in ADA. Like, dude, I that is the best thing, dude. I love that. It's hilarious. But I mean, that's passion. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's something we all came to Cardano with was passion. Also, we wanted to make money, don't get me wrong, but like, something brought us here, a commonality, a common thing. And part of it's money, part of it's passion. But
right. I think everybody comes into the space initially because they hear, oh, people are making so much money on NFTs. Like people come for that. That's the allure value. But what makes people stay is the community. What makes like hopping on Twitter and hopping on Discord and interacting with such cool people. And I've gone to all these different events throughout the country and met so many cool people from the Cardano community. And that's what's made me stay. I fell in love with how incredible the Cardano community is.
Yeah, I agree. And you said something about looking at the people and investing in people. And I hear that as a very like common thing that people say. So with doxing, do you look at projects and if they're not doxed, you're just like, screw this project, like it's not doxed, or are you a little bit like you have some leeway there?
I have some leeway there. I don't mind a team that's not doxed, but again, there's a difference between not doxed and being a community member, or not doxed and you came out of nowhere. So a lot of my good friends in the space, I don't know their face, I don't know their actual name, but I chat with them every week. I think they're awesome people, and if they came out with a project, I would 100% support that because I know who they are behind the screen. It doesn't matter to me what their name is or what their face looks like. I know they're genuine people just from my interactions with them. If I see and I feel like I'm pretty tapped into to Twitter and the community. If I see a name come out of nowhere who's running a project that has 30,000 followers and I'd never heard of, I'm like, all right, that's a dox that I do care about. That's not one that I want to support. So that doesn't mean the world to me if a creator is doxed or not. I think maybe it's like a little benefit if they're doxed, just because like you feel a little bit more of a sense of security with that. And I mean, I've been public since day one. I came in as a collector, so I have nothing to hide. I was just having fun in the space, and then I eventually came around to creating a project. So it just made sense for me to be doxed, but I don't think that's a requirement. I mean, Goblin Town I bought heavily into, and they're not doxed. I just thought that the fundamentals behind the team, the quality of their contract, the quality of their website, the quality of their marketing tactics was incredible, and I wanted to support a team that could create such incredible work, even though the artwork's like super ugly. I understood that it was coming from a quality team, and that was why I was willing to buy in.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily get Goblin Town per se, like just because again, like I think the art is somewhat. I didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I still don't to this day. I think we're always told like appreciate the art, or whatever. But I feel like this is the biggest moment where it's like, well, do you want the bag or do you want the art? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like,
There's two different distinctions when I buy an NFT. Am I buying
right,
for the art, or am I buying for the team? And some, like a lot of artists I love to support. I have a bunch of one-of-one pieces in my collection because I love the art. I genuinely love what that artist created. And then most of these like projects I don't love the art of, but I understand the value of holding it, the value of being a part of the community. So I do that, and then I understand teams that are going to execute on that, and the value will naturally see its way up. And those are other projects that I'm willing to support.
Cosmos just said, minted 2 and join the Discord. Love your attempt to bridge the communities. What a homie.
Awesome. So he has to make sure that they connect their wallets. So go to official links and then click love link and connect your wallet, and then you'll be good for the airdrops.
Yep, right here, official links in the Discord. Love link right here. And then boom. Oh, well, not boom, but boom. There we go.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's a
And then,
really easy
sorry,
process.
go on.
Really easy process. Yeah, you connect your Ethereum wallet, you type in your ADA address, your Discord name, and then you click join, and then you're good.
and so it's not revealed right away.
Right.
It's
So
revealed on Sunday.
yes, every Wednesday and every Sunday
Wednesday, okay.
we do reveals. The purpose of that, I mean, you don't, if you're a Cardano native person, there's really no need for reveals, but on Ethereum, because everything is distributed through smart contracts, a developer can go into the smart contract and see when the next big mint is coming up. But through doing the reveals, now nobody knows what the next big mint is. It's a way to protect a common collector.
Gotcha. And we had nice cover bro. He asks, what is your opinion on Outer Space Society?
Never
Do you
heard
not?
of
Oh, okay. Outer Space Society came out with like their Space Turian cards, which allows you to get like whitelist and some other benefits later in the future.
I like that idea of a club pass. I think it needs to be curated very well. I feel like whenever I was giving out whitelist spots, and I'm obviously still giving out whitelist spots to different communities, when I do that, I feel like I'm putting my name behind these projects, and I really want to vet these projects and make sure it's a project that I support before I give out whitelists to my community members, because I don't want them getting burned if I give it out. So I think as long as it's a trusted person running it, and you trust their alpha, that I think it's an awesome idea. I would almost consider doing it if I didn't have so little free time. But I think if it's executed well, I think it's an awesome idea.
Yeah, they actually have their what they're calling Haliens coming up. So they're hype aliens, right? So but they look pretty cool. Let me actually bring up a picture of their art, because whoops, I do think they look actually pretty good. Their team actually, I think, just moved as well, so that they could have different legalities behind their coins or whatever they're doing.
It's really interesting.
Yeah,
big shout out to Ghost, still holding the five angels from Angel Baby. I remember when he minted those. He came to work because we worked together. Okay, and so it was me, him, and Zero, all from like Lucky Lizards or whatever. And so we were like, man, this is hype. We love it. And he ended up showing me them, and I was like, man, I went home that night and I contacted you. I was like, dude, I need to get one. So I'm sending you some ADA or whatever, and yeah, I haven't looked back ever since. I've just been looking forward to every single drop you had, and looking forward to the demons coming up. That's very exciting.
You should check your wallet. A lot of the demon tokens have gone out. I don't know if all of them have. But yeah, the art is wild on this. I think
Oh.
it's super sick.
Yeah, this
Okay.
one is probably the one that like made them go crazy. A lot of
Yeah.
people went crazy for this one.
That's really wild. I love that. I also love 3D art. I think it's the amount of time it takes to create a 3D collection is 10 times how long it would take to create a 2D collection. I really appreciate when a creator puts in that time to create their artwork. I think that's another thing, like something to be proud of. Like when somebody puts in hours and hours into every single attribute and makes 200 of them. I feel awesome supporting them, no matter what happens with the price. Yeah, I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to mint these. I sold my pass. I paper handed my pass. I'm not gonna lie, and I had the super pass too because not everybody minted out. So the ones who minted in the first round, they had theirs upgraded to like this more holographic card, which gave you different benefits and exclusive, I guess, rights to the royalties that'll be coming out. So only people holding those passes will actually get royalties. And I think there's only like 200 or 300 of them, and yeah, your boy paper handed.
It's like sorry. Yeah, constantly going on.
It's all good.
I was vibing. Yeah. But so what's next? What are you hyped for? No, first of all, let me ask a better question. Okay. What is the biggest L that you've taken?
I was thinking about that earlier. I want to
What
know.
is the biggest L? So we always discuss this,
Yeah.
okay, with individual guests on the podcast, and it's always interesting for me.
Yeah, there's this really like sick artist way back when called Yasin, and everybody wanted to collect his artwork when he was coming out, and like really intricate, like cool 3D work that nobody saw on Cardano at the time, and I minted at the time the golden, Cardano apes, that project, like the 2D and 3D apes. I minted the one of one golden Cardano ape, which was like people were offering me like 15,000, 16,000, 17,000 ADA, and I decided to trade it all with traded the one of one gold Cardano ape with Fahadukin for all of his Yasin works, which at the time was probably like 40,000, 50,000 ADA worth. And then a week later, Yasin rugs. So all of his stuff is probably worth like 10 ADA total now.
Oh man, that bites.
So that was my worst trade. And now every once in a while, if I post it on Twitter, I'm like, oh, my golden ape.
I actually want to go look at it.
But if you go to the Cardano apes 2D, yeah, and then properties, you probably gold.
Just gold up top.
I don't know what.
Yeah, it's gonna
Golden
give me PTSD
oh,
here.
golden king ape.
Yeah, so I minted that one, and it was so sick. Like seeing it pop up on my screen when I minted it, and I traded away for nothing.
Oh,
That's
dang.
Now you're talking about Gitnick beforehand. Like he hasn't done much since. I think he did a piece, right? And it was about ending like gun, issues or whatever it was, right? So he posted a picture. I think it was like of an assault rifle or whatever it was, and it had a bunch of different designs on it. That was him, right?
Yeah, so he's a young artist at 19 years old out of Los Angeles. He has 515,000 followers on Instagram, and I had a phone call with him when I first entered the Cardano scene, and he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting into NFTs. I don't really know what to do." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll help you." And I had no clue how to do that, so I brought him to the Cardano chain, and I was like, I connected him with the developer, and I was helping get his work out on Cardano, and we did some really awesome collaborations with more digital artist because he's a physical artist, and come like kind of bring his paintings to life and release a bunch of different versions of his pieces. So if you go in on JPEG store, you could see end violence 000 and end violence 0. Yeah, you could see end violence 000 is the first piece that we released.
Now this was one of the first NFTs that I really got into.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he has an awesome. If you type in
N violence.
and
End.
END,
END.
Oh, gotcha.
end violence X Yasin, not that one. X Yasin on the bottom. Yeah, that was his first piece, where we took one of these pieces that he sold to Lil Dicky and brought it to life, where it's animated and the guns are shooting off paint, and it's super sick and it's a great message. And he like loves art, and that's his entire life. So we wanted to bring it to the blockchain, and that was what we did through this set. And he's actually creating an NFT project soon, where he drew like hundreds of different attributes of his graffiti art, and it's going to be a generative project of his graffiti art, which is super exciting.
No, this is really cool.
Yeah, and I want to say Gata has the same thing as well. So not only
Gata.
LD, but Gata, obviously, from Lil Dicky Squad, has almost this exact same setup, I want to say, inside his apartment.
Yeah, Lil Dicky has this piece, the physical one, in his house.
Right. And so this is
so this one is by Glass, and so we did collaborations with a bunch of different artists in the Cardano NFT scene and got animated pieces of these arts. It's super cool. Obviously, it's not like a project that's collecting art for the sake of collecting art, but I think it's an awesome mission, and he's an awesome kid. I mean, 19 years old, and he's already doing so much. He's selling art to celebrities around the world, flying around the world, meeting people. And yeah, definitely keep tabs on Twitter. It's Humanity CG. He just announced it a few days ago. It'll be a generative project of his graffiti art.
Yeah, which he's been pretty cool. Not the youngest guy I don't think you've supported. The youngest guy I think you supported was the kid from NFT Faces, right? It was some like 15-year-old kid who did NFT. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was you. No, doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell. Yeah.
Dang. Because he had faces or Ada faces.
Oh yeah. I know.
Right.
Yes, I bought one of his NFTs.
Young kid.
Young 15-year-old kid. He made skulls, not skulls, but like heads that were just in different designs, and they were 3D and rotating. I thought it was super cool, and I was like happy to support a young kid and his father trying to work together. And I think that's such a great thing when like a family is coming together to make something cool on the blockchain. So I was like, absolutely, I'm gonna buy it.
It was cool because I went into their Discord, chatted with them or whatever, and then I'm getting a JSON mask, which is like super, super rare. It's awesome. And so it's just something I'll always hold and always have, you know what I mean? Like, but it was really cool to see that connection, like young kids.
That's one of the, like some projects I buy to flip, and then some I buy just because I like the art and I want to support the mission, and that was one of those.
Right.
So we have NL, and NL wants to know, what are your thoughts on Ape Society?
I like the Ape Society. They're the ones that are like more like painted, right?
Yeah,
I like their execution. I think what they've done so far has been really awesome, and they're clearly a professional team, and the way that they're rolling it out with the society token, with the different projects being able to stake their NFTs for the society token, I think it's really a cool mechanic. I think it's great art. I think they're a great team. I haven't done a huge amount of research into them, but from what I've seen on the outside, I think they're doing a really good job.
Do you own any?
I don't. I was actually trying to buy one time, but JPEG Store was having like issues connecting with my wallet. So I created a whole new wallet and sent data fresh so that it didn't have so many EUTXOs on the wallet to register it. And by that time, the one that I wanted went away. Somebody else bought it.
Oh, Dude, I paper handed another amazing NFT. I got it, I minted it, and I sold it for 200.
Oh,
Yeah, fat come up.
It's like I minted 42 dead pixels, and I sold 35 of them at like 400 ADA.
That's not
Okay.
bad though. That's not bad.
that's still a win. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
You can't just give up your only one. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And just be like, well, here it is, 98. Got to
That's
give it
why
up.
I always buy multiples so that I could sell and still feel comfortable holding some of them.
Yeah, that's a solid ground rule double, you know? Not a home run, you know,
Yeah.
like, but if you would have held, oh man, that'd have been a grand slam.
Yeah, that's the goblin. I keep bringing up the goblins, but I bought 25 of them at 0.7, and I sold 20 of them at 1, and then it ran up to 8 ETH. So I missed out on 157 ETH on that trade.
Oh man, that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
it's still gains
that's-
though. You can't complain, but damn.
That's still rough. That's still rough, man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
really rough.
Like
I
I
mean,
stopped looking at the price because it hurts so much watching it go up.
I mean, I freaking paper handed another one. I paper handed a Kong that I won from this man. I sold that for 200 as well.
I paper handed a few Kongs too. That one I'm not proud about. I bought 2 Halo Kongs and sold it for like 300 ADA more than I paid for it, and then like 2 weeks later it skyrockets. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Do you own any Kongs right now?
Yeah, I do. I have a few of them.
Okay.
Not like anything to be like wow at, but a few.
Well, like any at this point is pretty good. From what I'm understanding, they're dropping shrooms, and then they're gonna have a garage, but they're taking their time, I guess, to get it out. So at least
Yeah.
I think they're trying to do their due diligence, you know,
They
or
were-
whatever.
They were actually the only project that I tried to get a airdrop for, and they're like, we don't want to add too much supply to our collection, so they turned me down nicely though. They're a great team.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wanna-
Deckard is really so I was supposed to do lo-fi for them, right? Because I had my own lo-fi album and it was all right. And so I approached him. He was like, "Yeah, it's a little too much guitar in there." And I was like, "Well, I'm not reworking it, okay?" You know what I mean? Deckard's a cool guy. He definitely has his own vision, which is great. Like that's something that I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Is like having their own vision and being like knowing what you want and going. You know, I feel like some projects kind of miss that, you know what I'm saying, target to where it's like, okay, well, what's trending, what's good, what's great, you know, and what can we take from over here and put our own spin on it. I feel like if you do something your own flavor or whatever, I think it works out for you really well, you know.
Yeah, just shout outs to Cornelius real quick. What's up, homie?
That's Corn and Friends.
Yep, the homie.
Now
So-
he was on the interview as well. Now we're trying, and I already got agreement from Faha to come on here,
Okay,
but I know he's been very busy,
of course.
you know. But I've been trying to get a hold of him for like a week now, and I'm like, dude, Faha, come on, buddy, we need that hype, you know.
He's
So if you,
He's a really good guy. I mean, that was one of the first people that I met in the space. When Cardano bits minted, I pulled a winged Cardano bit, and I wanted to I realized that I minted something rare, so I'm like, I want to create value around this rare NFT. So I created the winged warriors, way back when, like the second collection on Cardano, and it just so happened that some of the biggest collectors in Cardano had a winged Cardano bit, like Fahadukin and a bunch of the huge like space buds holders, and we made this kind of like a secret society within Cardano NFTs, and we were like talking to artists, and we were like asking the artists questions before their drops, and we would learn like, all right, these are the artists that we want to buy into, these are the ones we don't want to buy into, and it became like this really valuable thing to hold a Cardano bit's wing. And that's when I met Fahadukin, and we were talking about Equine before Equine dropped, and I was talking about Angel Baby Hit Squad before we dropped that, and it became notorious, the wings, from that collection. And then every single collection after that came out, people would put wings as the rarest attribute because of the winged warriors, which is a really cool thing to see, that network effect from that group that I started.
it became a Cardano staple You know what I mean? Like you always
Yeah,
had the
I
wings.
mean,
And
look at Ethereum. The wings aren't a rare trait on Ethereum. You never see it in a collection, but on Cardano, you always want the wings.
I was gonna say, do you own any of the winged warriors though, like the new winged warriors?
Yeah, so I what's his CNFT BTC? He wanted to kind of open that group up to a lot more people. I handed off control of the group when I started Angel Baby Hit Squad. I just couldn't focus on that. Handed it off to him, and he's like he wanted to open it up to more people. So I think that was awesome, and I supported it. I bought I think 10 of the extension wings.
That's what's up. I just saw your watch too. What kind of watch is that?
This one, it's a what is it? It's a Panerai Luminor Marina.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about watches, but it looked good, so I wanted to ask.
Look, I'm not a watch aficionado, but damn, that look good.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So yeah,
I got given it as somebody owed me like some money for I forget what it was, and they gave me the watch instead. I was like, all right, I'll take it.
Now, are you still looking at Q3 or Q4 of this year for demons, or are we waiting until next?
So today we airdropped the first distribution of the whitelist tokens. So
Okay.
if you check Pool PM, if your wallet gets to it, if it's in there.
I'm trying, and I don't see it. That's the thing. So I'm freaking out. Let me check again.
Let me see it, if all of them have been distributed. Yeah, only half of them have been distributed so far.
Okay.
So they're still going out. So if every angel that you hold, you'll get a whitelist token for demons. And this was just the first distribution. So if you mint an angel today and you connect your wallet on the next distribution, you'll get the whitelist token. And the reason we're doing that is we want angels to kind of be the gatekeepers for whoever can mint demons. If you want to mint your demons, you mint your demons. If you want to sell your whitelist token, you sell it to somebody else, but you can only mint the collection with a whitelist token. If you don't have a whitelist token, then you can't mint it. So it's a cool mechanic, and it's just allowing the angel holders to really control the supply and who gets into the collection. It's a benefit to the angel holders. So that's the distribution of the demon tokens. Those are going to be around for about a month, and then we're going to have a claim where you send in ADA with your demon token, and then you get back your demon.
Do you have any one-of-ones left to mint?
In the angels, we have 4 one-of-ones left.
Okay.
So out of the first 7,100 minted, there's 3 minted, and 3 ultimates minted, and then out of the remaining 4,000, there's 4. So it's like the odds are much, much higher now to mint an ultimate than when we started with.
Okay.
And then there's ultimates in the demons too that will be revealed.
Hell yeah. All right, my hopes are high.
And so you showed a sneak peek, I want to say, of one of the demons or something. Is that correct?
Yeah, of one
I
of the.
remember it was a while ago.
Yeah, you could, if you go through announcements. I actually just recently posted a demon teaser too.
Okay.
Announcements, and then scroll up a little bit. Well, those are the airdrops for Bazaar Stars going out. There's going to be a claim today. So if you have 100 angels, it's a 2 ADA claim, and then you get your 2 ADA back with the NFT, and you could do it however many times you have angels. And every airdrop is unique, which is a cool thing about this airdrop. Stag Wolf and Greek Freak put a ton of work into this airdrop. You can see how cool those are. Yeah. Just some examples.
These look sick.
If you scroll up a little more, there's a video right there. That bottom one, that's a teaser of one of the demons. It's like really high. I mean, you have to let it load a little bit for it to be cleaner. But that's just a teaser of what one of the demons is going to be, and that's like one of the ultimate ones.
Nice.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So are the Bazaar Stars? Okay, so are they going to? I know they animate some of them, right?
Yeah.
Or
so
they're not.
None of these are going to be animated,
okay.
But all of them are going to be unique. So,
okay.
And there's actually 33 one-of-ones in the mix, so you could get lucky. You could get lucky and claim one of the one-of-ones.
Nice.
I like that.
That's it. So what is next for you guys? I know you have the Bazaar Stars, and I know people are always like, more, when, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be one of those guys because you just announced a lot. But like, what is next for you? Like,
Yeah, so I mean, I'll go through the airdroppers that are we still have coming up. So we still have Chatty Nassar to come up. We still have with Spaces. We still have Space Buds. We still have Clay Nation. We have Beyond Rockets. We have Aeonium Sky. We have Happy Hoppers Club, and then we have Cardano Trees. I'm obviously gonna continue pushing partnerships. I'm looking to have that in real life access, so that just owning an angel gives you access to these various clubs, these exclusive events and stuff throughout the world and throughout the country. I We're gonna lean into demons as that releases. Demons have their own airdrops. We've already announced a few of them: Goat Tribe, DGen Crypto Club, and Benjamin's Club. There's a few more that we haven't announced yet. There's a lot of so many cool things coming where you're purchased an NFT worlds for Angel Baby Hit Squad and one for Demon Hit Squad. We're getting one currently. The one is getting built out, half heaven, half hell, and our players will be able to go in there and earn the world token just by playing and interacting with people in the metaverse that we're building out. I bought a second one for demons, and that's going to be built out for hell, and then we're going to rework the first one so it's heaven, and you have both of them that you could play in. So that'll be a fun mechanic. We have toys being made by Ism Toys. It's a really cool father-son team, I believe in Canada, where they make the toys out of like resin and then they hand paint each one. They're a little bit expensive, but when you buy your toy, it goes into their digital toy shop, and if anybody buys your angel after, you get a commission as the NFT holder for that sale, which is a cool mechanic. And yeah, there's so many different things that I'm sure I'm forgetting right now, but there's a lot going on with the project.
Yeah, I know ISM Toys is working with Boss Cats as well.
Are they? That's awesome.
I believe so.
They're working with Board Ape Yacht Club. They're working with Clay Nation. I didn't hear about Boss Cat yet, but that's really cool.
that's huge. Like, that's a huge deal.
I hope I'm not wrong. I think I'm right.
Fuck it. You heard it here first. Even if it's wrong, it's right. We're gonna say it. No, I'm just kidding. No, but that would be super cool. It gives legitimacy to our space, right? I mean, when you're associated with people who work with Bored Apes and other things like that, it's kind of like, oh crap, we're on the map, or
And
whatever.
that's why I'm like constantly trying to do these partnerships on the outside with Mike Tyson and like Lexi Wood on Instagram. She has like 15 million followers or something like that, and she is one of our honorary angels. Pranksy, Dingling, all of our honorary angels. So I'm trying to like put a little bit of focus outward so that people can see Cardano NFTs on the map.
What do you think it would take? And I know it's a huge long shot, but what do you think it would take to get Charles Hoskinson into NFTs?
That I actually had a conversation with somebody on his team recently. I'm working on something that I can't say much about yet. That should be really interesting when it releases. But I know he doesn't want to put his, like, it's the same thing as like associating his name with a project. If he buys an NFT, that NFT is gonna skyrocket, and he can't control that team. So if they end up rug pulling, he's the one who's supported that rug pull project. So I think he's just being wary of that, and it makes sense. Somebody in that kind of stance within the community, I think he's more or less protecting himself. But that doesn't mean he doesn't want to be more involved with the NFT scene. I mean, he did that Spaces with Snoop Dogg and Clay Nation. So I think interacting more in that capacity would be awesome.
Are you ever nervous about like saying like, oh, like I'm minting this project, or I like this project? Do you ever like, be like, oh crap, like I know everybody's gonna go crazy for it now?
Yeah, I that was like a network effect that I didn't expect to happen, because initially, I mean, I've had my Twitter since 2012, and I had 50 followers up until this past year. So I would be like tweeting out every day. Every time I bought an NFT, I'd be like, yo, check out this collection. It's sick. And as my following grew and grew, I started realizing that people started following my trade. So I'm like, I need to be a lot more a lot more careful about what I'm tweeting out than just doing every single NFT that I buy, because I'm buying like 20, 30 a day. I shouldn't be sending out all those tweets. I also think that for a smaller collector, you should tweet every single NFT that you're buying, because not only are you going to be getting followers from whatever communities you're tapping into, you're also creating that Twitter presence for that project. If you want that project to go up, you should be talking about it as much as you can on Twitter. And I don't understand. I mean, now I understand like why I shouldn't be tweeting every other project, but I don't understand why any smaller presence on Twitter isn't tweeting out every single NFT that they buy, because they want to create as much network effect in that NFT collection as they can. And just buying and being silent is doing that project a disservice. Like the royalties aren't getting traded then. Nobody knows that you're a part of the community. You should voice it.
Yeah, I've been debating it. Like, I'm kind of on a smaller scale. You know, I don't have like a crazy amount of followers, and I'm also not like super wealthy. So I'm not buying like hundreds or even like tens. You know, I'm buying like 4 sometimes. You know, and I would like to shout him out, and I kind of do. I even talk about it in my videos. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna like buy these because you know it's obvious. Like, of course, it's Mad Dogs. Like, I'm gonna be able to buy their car parts. They'll do fine. You know, like. Just my opinion, not financial advice. But like, it to me is very obvious, but maybe looking on the outside, looking in, it's not so obvious. And maybe I'm actually like creating something else. I don't know. I don't know like how to like view myself or like what's like legally appropriate or any of that.
I need to be more careful of that too. But I still think that people should be tweeting about their purchases. I think it's an awesome thing, just from a creator standpoint. Like seeing people like so pumped to be collecting an Angel Baby Hit Squad for the first time. I'm like, fuck yeah! Like I'm retweeting. I comment underneath each one. I think it's so cool when I see that, and somebody trusts in me and trust in my team and trust in the vision of what we're creating with this project. I love it, and I love to see it anytime that happens. And in the past, I was trying to be that voice, and now I have to kind of tone it in a little bit. Obviously, if I buy a one of one piece or something like that, then I'm going to tweet it out, because it's not going to really create that network effect. And people think I'm like a part of the project, or I'm tweeting it out, and I'm like, no, I wanted to support the art. I wanted to support a friend in the space, but yeah. So I think go for it. I think you should tweet out everything that you buy.
Hell yeah. I'll definitely do that, and there'll definitely be an Angel Baby Hit Squad tweet coming out soon.
Yeah, explain the tiers, okay? Because that's something maybe not a whole lot of people are familiar with yet. But so the tier system is A through F, right?
It depends on whatever project is airdropping at the time.
Okay.
So because I eat the cost of the distribution, like I'm the one who pays for the distribution of the NFTs, and I also pay each artist upfront for their work, because I think every artist should be supported in the space. So I pay for the artwork, and then I also pay for the distribution costs. And if I was one-to-one with Angels, the cost would get like insane. Like the amount that I have to, it's like 1.5 ADA per NFT sent out, and I'm doing airdrops every 3 to 4 weeks. So the way that I limited it is we do tiers. So based on however many angels you hold, you get put into the tier F bucket, or you get put in the tier E bucket, or C, or D, C, B, A. And that's what we distribute. So if you have 40 angels, you'll get tier A. If you have 20 angels, you'll get tier B, and down to tier F. So but it is decided by the airdropping artist. So if they made 6 pieces, there would be 6 tiers. If they made 8 pieces, there would be 8 tiers. Bizarre Stars wanted to go super hard, so they made everything one of one, and that's why we're doing the 2-8 claim instead of the full airdrop. So if you have 50 angels, then you have to claim 50 airdrops. But and then like, I don't want to say too much, but there's like an artist coming up that wants to do all unique, but per holder. So it starts off like a little bit more simple, and then as it gets rarer and rarer, you get crazier and crazier. So it's cool how each collaborating artist kind of lets their creativity fly with these airdrops.
What? This is asking too much, but I'm going to ask it anyway because that's my responsibility as a co-host here. What is dropping next?
That I can't say.
Okay.
We try to keep the we try to keep the limelight on each specific airdropping artist when it happens, to give them like the thanks and like the support that they're obviously taking time out of their day to create artwork for my community, and I want to give them that love for like the 3-4 weeks that it's their turn. And then as soon as theirs is done, then we announce the next one, and they get the love for the next 3-4 weeks. So for now, it's Bizarre Stars, and then next it'll be one of those 9 artists or projects that I said before.
That's good, and it's going to be really rough here pretty soon because everybody's going to be starting to get ready for CNFT Con, right, in Vegas, which you're going to, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And if you're holding a party, I mean, I'm going, and I'm an Angel Baby Hit Squad owner. So I think what should happen is if we end up meeting up at this party, I feel like I owe you a beer or something. So will you let me buy you a beer or a mixed drink?
Absolutely, and we're actually going to be throwing an after party at CNFT Con, so you'll be able to party with me too, and the drink should be free there, so you don't even have to pay for it.
Okay. Are you going to have Ada drinks there? Like, or is it just or Ada cocktails you can buy? You know what I'm saying? For
everything's named after. Oh, like priced in Ada?
No. I'm saying like they're named. The drinks are named after, like, you have a hosky.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We should do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It charge me for that. I don't care. Like, I'll buy it. You know what I'm saying? I want to try every single one of those.
Yeah,
I want to try every one of the hard forks, man. You know what I mean?
Tip your bartender, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, the blue magic could be the blue motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be a really awesome party. We're doing that in collaboration with the 3 other projects in the space, really big name projects. So it's going to be a huge party.
That's good. That's awesome. I'm taking my team out for dinner. Nick, I think you're invited.
You think? I mean? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So he's invited. We're all going to Lucille's for nice. Like ribs and barbecue and stuff like that. Speaking of food, because that's my main thing. You know what I mean? What's the best pizza in New York?
There's one spot that I don't remember the name of. It's like up in the Bronx almost. It's like 130th Street. I think 3rd Avenue or 4th Avenue. I forget the name, but I always know like what it looks like when I go past it. It's so fire. I think then if you want to go more of like a Sicilian slice, maybe Prince Street Pizza is great always.
Okay. Prince Street's good. Can't really miss.
Yeah, I don't know what the best. I'm like a big fan of like Brooklyn pizza, like Spumoni Gardens.
Spumoni, yeah. Okay.
Like those are my spots way back when. Now I don't know. Whatever I see on the street is what I'll get.
So that's the coolest thing. Like, I went on a pizza tour with Scott Wiener up there, right? And so we went to Lombardi's, we went to Lucali's and stuff like that. And I got to make a pizza at DeFara's, which was crazy. Like, that's cool.
So what was your favorite pizza of the bunch?
Probably DeFara's, just because Dom was actually there when we was working. And this was way before COVID and stuff like that. Now he's kind of, I guess, stepped back, and he hasn't been in.
If you go up to like New Haven, Connecticut, they have some fire pizza too.
I've been to Sally's.
Yeah.
You know, I've gone to New Haven. It is it's very good. I will say that. Very good.
Sally's like a few weeks, probably 3-4 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you put pineapple on your pizza?
I never even tried it. I think it's sacrilege in my collection.
Yeah. So Italians don't like it, right? It's just like that's if you go to Italy, you put pineapple on a pizza, it's like, you know what I mean? Like they don't like it. But I will
Yeah.
say this, like if you try, a pepperoni, jalapeno, and pineapple pizza, like it with barbecue sauce, it is like really good. I will say that.
Pineapple pizza with barbecue sauce?
Everything that you added to that list just got worse and worse.
Bro, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I
Pineapple,
won't knock it till I try it, but that
Yeah.
sounds sketchy.
pineapple, I'm telling you, pineapple, pepperoni, uh fuck it, throw on bacon. Pineapple, pepperoni, bacon. Yeah, corn's on my side. I mean, come on, man.
You have to put up Michael Farquhar's comment.
Yeah, PP Club, baby.
That is true. Which I wanted one of those so bad, but they're sold out, right? They're
Yeah,
done.
I bought the last 5 of them.
You're a dick. You're a dick.
He was like, I was like, hey, could I buy one? He was like, sure. Like they're 8 ADA, and I was like, oh, how many do you have a piece? And he was like, I have like the last 5 or 6 or something. I was like, I'll take them all.
You didn't even DM me, bro. You didn't even DM me and be like, hey, by the way, there's a pizza project, and you didn't even include me.
I think Chatty Nassar's on that team, right? Is he?
Yeah, he's the main dude behind it.
He was telling me, he was messaging, because I manage his artwork, like his actual artwork, not this PP Club. So he's like, go buy them, and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I bought a few of those just to support Chatty.
It's just fun to run around and be like, yo, check out my PP. You know, it's like, what do you think of my PP?
The real degen, man.
But yeah, shout outs to Michael Farquhar, man. He's creating NFT Seeker, which is going to be a pretty cool project. Which is going to be I think he's creating like a tools, which is going to be like a sniping tool, which will help you find NFTs off the floor, stuff like that. And also he has like scatter plots to do like charts and look at different analysis that other marketplaces aren't doing. So yeah, shout outs to him.
That's really cool. I need to keep my eyes on it.
Yeah, NFT Seeker. It's I think it's going to be similar if you know what Retroheads is doing. It'll be similar to that, but also different people. But yeah, Retroheads is actually a project where I'm gambling a little bit just because they just hired 4 to 5 developers to create their analytics tool like a week ago, and their floor price is like 20 ADA. So I scooped up like 10 of them.
That's probably a good play. I heard about that when Retroheads launched. I was like, that's a really cool tool that they plan to create. I hope I see it.
So what is the tool? Not to get too off topic or whatever, but what is the tool they're creating again?
Well, he's creating I guess it's a tool to just get more data analytics for NFTs. Let's see if I can go to the website. Yo, Michael, feel free to post it in here as well, bro. I love you, bro. You can shill all you need. Let's see. I think it's NFT Seeker. I know I have them on Twitter. I just don't know what the website is exactly. NFTseeker.tools.
I'm just writing this down.
Yeah, so they haven't minted yet. They don't have a date for it either, but they do have a light paper. So here's a sniper. Get the deals faster than any human can. Buy now and auction. So I believe you'll be able to set the bot up to a parameter. So let's say you throw in a ID. The ID would be the policy ID. Let's say it's Clay's, and then you set it for you want to buy it as soon as it hits 12,000 or 2,600 on the floor. You know, and let's say the floor now is 2,700. So you're just trying to get that deal. Well, I think it'll make it to where it automates it, and it'll just buy it as soon as it's there. So you don't have to sit around and wait. Organize, which is going, or we'll do aggregator. Watch listings and sales as they happen live on multiple marketplaces at the same time. So that way you don't have to watch, all the different marketplaces. Make better decisions with the help of data insights. So just, analytics and stuff. Alpha, benefit from the experience and research of others in the exclusive group. Then they're going to have Discord, holder verification, man. And then what is organize? Inventory, snapshot your wallet, view and download your current holdings with accurate valuations. Okay, so similar to what Free Roam is doing, where they show you the total valuation, and then a history view and download your trading history per wallet or combined. So Uh,
That's a great the history view. It just in terms of like taxes is such a great tool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it would also be cool because I want to see what these things sold for before, you know? And I don't want to have to go to another website and look it up and then compare to another website. Like just have it all there, you know?
Aggregate it, keep it easy.
Yeah. So shout outs to him.
So, are there any projects that you're kind of looking at, or you just? I know. Okay, so this is a bad question because we should talk more about Angel Baby Head Squad to be quite honest. Right. So, Demon Tokens dropped. You have Bizarre Stars coming out. Anything in your personal life, like uh, that
Yeah,
you're into, as far as like collecting in real life,
yeah.
or
So
uh,
like I mean, initially how I got introduced into like, collectibles was baseball cards and basketball cards, and just as a kid, I mean, I would love to go into Target or like the local sports store and pick up a pack of cards and just see whatever I pulled. And it's like the early version of NFTs. I mean, every time you mint an NFT, it's like opening a pack of cards and seeing what you get, seeing if you get that lucky pull. And that's what made the NFTs click for me. When NBA Top Shot came around, uh, and you could see these moments online, and you could own the moments. You're like, oh, I'm owning a digital basketball card, and now that I'm spending so much time online, I can show it off to my friends online because I'm chatting to them in these and over text anyway. They're not at my house. I can't show them the physical card very easily. It just made sense, and then that was when I like really dove in. I'm like, I need to learn this NFT technology. I mean, I was buying Ethereum years ago, 2015, for $8, and whenever it got to like $30, and I sold it all, and I'm like, wow, I 4x'd. And I never really got to like a crazy amount in crypto, um, because I didn't understand it, and I had a few Ethereum, and I saw CryptoPunks when they were free to claim, and I'm like, I don't want to spend these $3 in gas to claim this stupid image. And I saw like Crypto Nitties, and I saw everything when it was first coming out. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going to even touch it because I don't know it. Um, but NBA Top Shot is what made it click for me. So then when I saw Greek Freaks tweet, I'm like, I'm going all in. I'm not missing out on CryptoPunks again.
it, so you didn't mint Bored Apes. You got in a secondary, but but you get dropped everything. You didn't get a Kennel Club, but you got ApeCoin. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then that's available on markets, right? Is that like on Binance and stuff? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. You could trade it on any platform.
But so have they said like kind of? Oh, you got a other deed as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I didn't get lucky with other deed.
You didn't.
The mutant price was like 40 ETH um, before the other deed drop, and then after the other deed drop, people are getting quotas and all these things, and the floor of the mutants tanked to like 20, and I didn't get anything good on the land, so my lands are worth like 2.5 each, so I lost like 15 ETH on those claims.
Okay. 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 All right.
But
That's
some people got hit some quotas and made 150 ETH, 200 ETH on it. So I mean, it was like I could have sold at 40 ETH, but I'm a degen. I'm a gambler. I wanted to take the risk.
yeah. Plus, I think it's a long term thing, right?
Yeah,
It's a long term game.
I think you guys one of the safest bets in this ecosystem. Just to be touching it, getting access to their 8 Fest every year. I mean, last year they rented out Brooklyn Steel, and they had the Strokes and Lil Baby and Chris Rock and Aziz Ansari uh, and Beck perform, and everything was free. Like the food was free, the drinks are free. If I get to go to that every year, I'll tell you what, I'll hold on to my NFT.
We'll be there. Yeah. So that's great. I feel like that's like the pinnacle of NFTs. Do you think there's anything out there that will ever eclipse it?
100%. I mean, people probably didn't think like Microsoft would be topped back in the day, and then Apple comes out, or people wouldn't think that Ford would have been on top, and then every other art company comes out. And I think there's these first movers, these very like serious collections, but in 10 years, I'm sure there's going to be another one.
On that same topic, and I know this is definitely like, I don't know, way down the line if it's going to happen, but Cardano eclipsing Ethereum. Do you think that's possible? Do you believe in that?
I think it would take maybe another few years of like the merge not happening on Ethereum. I think there would need to be like some critical error in Ethereum, not for it to be eclipsed by Cardano. Um, do I believe in Cardano more as a blockchain? Yes, that's why I like most of my NFTs are on Cardano. I think that it'll take years to like come close to it, but I still think that that first mover and that supremacy of Ethereum NFTs is always going to hold its weight, and it's like it's always going to be my goal to own a CryptoPunk. It's like that was my goal coming into the NFT scene. I'm like now I want to own a CryptoPunk, and that's not going to change ever. I don't think. So I still see Ethereum NFTs as having that top spot, and that's what I mean. I'm fighting for it. I'm trying to get as many people into Cardano as I can through the introduction, but I do think that Cardano NFTs are going to overtake Solana soon. I think just like the quality of the technology is far superior.
Yeah, so Solana had NFTs before Cardano, right?
I'm actually not even sure.
Okay.
I don't think they did. I don't
Did
think
they
they
not?
did. I don't think they did.
If they didn't, I'm mind blown that they're ahead of us. I don't understand it.
If it did, it was there's such a short discrepancy between the two. I think.
Yeah.
I want to say Cardano had, because you had Barry, and then you had Space Buds, and then you had Crypto C Bits, right? Cardano Bits, and then it was pretty much a free for all after that, and then Solana kind of, I want to say, hit afterwards, maybe, right?
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah, I have no clue. I just
just
know there's a
always
lot of
blows-
rugs, supposedly.
Yeah, I've heard there's way more rugs. The network goes down for like a day or two, and that happens.
Yeah, my only concern is about the network going down. I think there's equal amount of rugs on Cardano and equal amount of rugs on Ethereum. No matter where you are, there's going to be bad actors in the space, and that's just always something that you should be wary of. I don't think there's like an overwhelming amount of rugs on any of the blockchains, but it's definitely prevalent on all of them.
Yeah, that's a good shout. And Steven has a good point too. He says while those companies competed with the Fords and Microsofts, the products stayed the same while the tech improved. And that's basically what you were saying with Ethereum. They would have to take many years of them not, improving or doing whatever their upgrade is supposed to be, while Cardano continues to improve.
I think Ethereum, like, for all the crap, like, I don't like paying gas like that. Like, let's be honest, like, gas sucks.
Yeah, I think they also deserve so much love though for the amount of change that they've created for the crypto ecosystem. Like if it weren't for Vitalik, we wouldn't be on this call right now. We wouldn't be trading NFTs. He created such a game changing platform that fading it is also like it doesn't make sense to me. And also they're like, so what if I'm paying $15 in gas if I get exposed to such an amazing return opportunity? Like look at like Bored Apes minting for 0.08, which was $200 at the time, turning into probably 600,000-700,000 in realized value from Mutant Apes and ApeCoin and land and everything like that. That's a market that Cardano isn't seeing right now, and just ignoring it just because of that $15 in gas. I think that you should at least just explore it a little bit, and that's what I love seeing, like the collectors that did create an Ethereum wallet for the first time for Angel Baby Hit Squad, and then they minted degen tunes and they saw their first 1 ETH gain or 2 ETH gain. I thought that was so cool to see on the timeline. Like people would be like, "Thank you, Angel Baby Hit Squad. I got degen tune and I made 2 ETH."
That is really cool. And I think my biggest concern is when I hear people say their transaction failed and all their money's gone. That like really scares me. I don't. How often does that happen?
It's never happened to me once.
Okay.
It's happened to me twice, three times maybe in a year and a half, and I think I lost like $30, $40. What it happens is when it's a crazy hyped mint and you don't know how to scale your gas in the right way. So if you don't like say send $100 instead of send $15, then yours won't go through. It's with the territory of not learning how to transact on the
Okay.
blockchain.
Okay.
It's the same thing as like me minting the space buds with my Coinbase wallet. I just didn't understand the tech, and I lost probably $30,000 now because of that mistake.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
That
but
sucks.
once I learn, then I know how to properly operate around that, and that's just a way that you have to navigate around specific blockchains. And I think the underlying technology behind Ethereum is so incredible.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you just send like more than you probably should send to make sure the transaction goes through, or is there like a sweet
Yeah,
spot that you just know?
you could shoot it up, like set a max value for it to go, and it sends your transaction through with the lowest amount that it'll do. So I could set my max at like $4,000 if I really like was gonna die if I didn't get this NFT mint, and it would go through at $15 if it allowed for it to go through. And then it's just a matter of scaling at whatever point in the middle that it actually can get the transaction through, and that's only at a period of time when there's a ton of transactions on the blockchain. Like I sometimes I mint an angel for like the escrow when I'm doing the ADA mint for Angel Baby Hit Squad. Sometimes I mint it for like $3 in gas, and people are saying like, oh, I don't want to get on Ethereum. Like I just paid 6 ADA on the transaction. It's not a crazy amount.
Gotcha. No, that's good to hear. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, it's I have respect for like Ethereum. I do. Like I feel like people need to be more open-minded and less cult, less like tribal as far as like our beliefs as far as what Cardano can do compared to Ethereum. Dude, you can shout all you want. You can shout literally all you want. Like, this is so much better because of this, this, and this, and this. But Bobby down the street doesn't care. Like, he likes Ethereum. He's going to stick on Ethereum. That's
Right.
the way it is,
And
right? And
the
so,
best way to settle discourse is just to expose yourself to both things. That's why I think like angels are awesome, because people can experience both, and then they decide, oh, I like Ethereum, oh, I like Cardano, and then they interact with whichever ecosystem more. And you like, how can you be a Cardano hater without experiencing on Cardano? And how could you be an Ethereum hater without knowing what the experience is like on Ethereum? I think you need to experience it and go through your struggles and your benefits on both sides, and then you make an educated opinion. But it's like like you're just saying, in any case in your life, if you're being tribal and cult like, if you won't listen to whatever side, you're usually probably in the wrong. There's always people always have there's always something to learn from somebody else. There's always something to learn from a different community. And if you're just blocking yourself up from those opportunities, you're doing yourself a disservice.
do you have an underrated ETH project? Not Angel Babies, but yes, Angel Babies, obviously. And then do you have an underrated Cardano project?
Underrated. I think obviously I think space buds are so underrated. I think at a 5,000 ADA for the first 10K collection on Cardano, when we get that mass adoption, everybody's going to want a space bud. And the fact that it's $3,000, $2,000 for like the premier collectible on Cardano, you know how many multi-millionaire holders there are of Cardano that would want to have a piece of history. I think those are incredibly undervalued. And I also don't want to speculate on a lot of newer projects just in case. Then Ethereum wise, I would say the same thing. Like, just based on the fact that other side just dropped and there hasn't been news since its initial launch, I think buying at these it's at like the absolute bottom it's been, which is like 2.7 ETH for like the cheapest land. I think as soon as I make an announcement, that's a great play to make.
Yeah, and I just want to do like a shout out. We'll probably do another like 5 to 10 minutes because I know it's running on 2 hours now, but I want to go for freaking ever. But yeah, that it always shocks me when I hear about Angel Baby Hit Squad not selling out, and I'm just like, oh well, they'll surely sell out like next week, right? And then it's just like, I don't know, like how do you feel about that? Are you cool with it? Just because like it's still coming in and the community is always cool as hell, but to me, it seems like ADA is kind of supporting you more than Ethereum is, and maybe that's just because I don't know.
Yeah, I think just coming from a native Cardano team, we expected our influence on Cardano to be stronger than on Ethereum. From what we've seen, it's been about 70% Cardano collectors and 30% native Ethereum collectors, which we're super pumped about. Like I said earlier, I personally helped make 150 Cardano wallets for the first time, and I see these people now interacting in the Cardano ecosystem, and I see them every time they buy a Clay Nation, every time I see them buy an Ape Society or whatever other NFTs we've been talking about. They buy a Kong, and I think that's super cool. And because of like the harder introduction of bringing ADA people and having them learn about Ethereum, I expected it to be a slow mint, and I wanted it to be comfortable too. I didn't want it to be a super hyped mint where people had to lose the money on gas. Now people can mint on their own terms, and they're always going to have a reason to continue to get in. Every 3 to 4 weeks, they're going to get another airdrop. There's going to be another community that we're tapping into. So that's why it's been so slow, so steady. We haven't had a day yet of zero mints, and I don't expect us to go a day without zero mints until we sell out. On top of that, people are happy holding it for the airdrops. Out of 7,000, 7,100 minted now, 52 are on secondary, which is smaller than I think 99.9% of projects out there. And we don't have a staking mechanism. Like, people aren't locking up their NFTs to get a token or anything like that. People are locking up their NFTs because they want to hold the NFT, which I think is super cool. And when we do sell out, again, all I need to get is 50 people who want to get into the project, and then there's zero that they can pick up off of the market. So I think it's all in due time. I'm setting the right foundation. Like I said, I'm not building a house on hype. I'm not building it on cards as fast as I can to build it up. I want to set the right foundation, and I'm building a company that I want to see in 5 years, one that I'm proud about in 10 years. And I don't mind if it takes a year to sell out, because in 5 years, I know that I'm going to be around, and I want to see which projects are alongside me.
Hell yeah.
So what you said you have a girlfriend. Does she own NFTs or does she support you 100%, with what you're doing?
She's incredible. Yeah. She, when I first got involved with the ecosystem and I was online like 20 hours a day, she's like, what are you doing? You're collecting these digital images. But then I started talking to her and I started explaining it, and she saw how much I cared about it and how cool I thought it was. And she's like so on board, and I bring her to all like the crypto events. So she's met a lot of like the Cardano people that I talk with on a daily basis. I have Twitter spaces and she'll say hi to people. And then she does art. She makes clothing that she sells in New York City. And she's created a limited set of like flowers. So if you go to STEM Friends NFT on Twitter, so it hasn't launched, but it's going to be like a cheap mint on Cardano just for fun, just to support women artists. STEM Friends, yeah, that blue one. So they're like just fun flowers, colorful. That's my girlfriend's project, and it should be out in the next few months. We actually have a cool collaboration with Cardano trees, so the flowers are going to be living and moving.
Oh, that's awesome.
She just got another follower, whether she liked it or not.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
sorry.
what? No. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna go over Michael's question. Michael says, any opinion on ApeCoin and tokens in general?
Yeah, I think ApeCoin is structured very well. But I go back to my previous concern about the projects that aren't taking that time to structure their token. There, I think a lot of projects are releasing tokens just for the sake of releasing tokens, just to say that they did it and say like, oh, we gave our community a token. What more can you ask from us? And those are the ones I would be wary of. I wouldn't be degenning into whatever utility tokens that you see on the market, or and I wouldn't be buying collections just because they say they have a utility token. Like distributing a utility token is the easiest thing in the world. I could do it. I could do one tomorrow, and it would cost me like 2,000 ADA. It would be nothing, and it means nothing because there's nothing supporting that, and there's no reason for the community to want to value it, and there's no reason for the project to value it. But if it's structured well, I think it's an awesome thing. I think there's a lot of use cases for it. So I think in its right way, awesome. Yes, I think I'm excited for Clay Token. I'm excited for Yummy. I'm excited for Grass. There's a lot of ones that I really like. But then there's a lot of ones that I'm like, so what? Like, why are you releasing this token? What does it mean?
Yeah, I'm bullish on what's that project, Space Apes by with Lovelace, you know. So, and I know you were saying Lovelace they can't miss. So I'm hoping
that's a different Lovelace.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
that's different. Very different.
Two different Lovelaces. Yeah, that's I actually helped advise for Space Ape when they first launched. I gave some advice to that Lovelace, but the one that I'm working with is a different Lovelace.
Oh, okay. Damn, I didn't know that. There's two different Lovelaces?
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh man. I think I've been buying based off of the name.
you got bamboozled.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll leave it with
you. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. So what else? What else is there? What else is there?
Well,
the other okay. I can ask. So the other deeds don't get you access to the Bored Ape Yacht Club. However, they get you access to the metaverse that they're building. Is that correct? And then how do you interact character-wise inside that metaverse?
So they're going to be, so from what I've heard, obviously, like nobody really knows what Yuga's doing until they do it. From what I've heard, they're going to be airdropping 3D versions of all mutants and of all Bored Apes. So for those people to use it in the metaverse, and then they're allowing creators to build their own assets within their metaverse. So if you wanted to get if I wanted to build 3D compatible angel babies, I could upload them into their ecosystem, and then people could use their angel babies and go around their metaverse, which is a super cool thing, kind of putting the power into individual creators to allow their assets to be shown in their metaverse, and it doesn't need to be a Bored Ape asset.
Now, would you make those? I'm already starting to plan. So would you make those angel babies?
Yeah, we're already
fly.
Yeah,
or would they walk?
We're already in the process of building compatible 3D metaverse compatible angels to one with whatever angel you have. So if you pull a gold suit angel, then your metaverse one will be a gold suit one too, and that's in the process. It's like 5-6 months away because it does take a long time to build each one and build the attributes and make sure it's moving the correct way. And then it's up to you. Like if you wanted to have it fly, you could have it fly. If you wanted to have it walk, you could have it walk.
I want to see it like hover barely off the ground with the wings back, just like zooming.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I want. I want that. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I love it. But yeah, Nick, I'll let you do your thing, Nick.
Nah, I'm just I think we're close to the end. So if there's any like final things that you guys want to say or shout out to anybody, just let me know.
Yeah, I mean, we if you like what you heard, go mint an Angel Baby Hit Squad. We have 9 more airdrops to come. We have an awesome community. There's a little meetup in New York City on June 23rd. I rented out like a storefront for us just to listen to music and have drinks and chill with each other during NFT NYC. We have the Vegas party. We have a lot of cool shit coming up. So definitely keep in tune.
Hell yeah. If anybody wants to follow him, all of these socials are in the description below. And if any of this content helped you, please give me a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And remember to get outside, see your family, see your friends. We're here to make more money so we can spend more time with them. Till next time, guys. Peace.